Catherine Risky reading Dreamer in the Falls, pages 111 to 114. As she walks up to the door, it opens like a flower blooming, revealing a long deck leading to a podium tower where a golden violin hangs. The room is in the shape of a floorless cylinder, trimmed with the same organically ornate, gorgeous wood framing as the rest of the palace. Torm makes her way slowly to the podium tower and cautiously steps onto it. She inspects the golden violin and finds it has no top plate, and its body is filled with machine parts. Against her better judgment, she takes it down for a better look, and not a few seconds later, alarms go off. Torm takes a step back to the deck, but it pulls away from her and she is marooned on the tower. In the distance, she sees the door unbloom, while the entire room transforms into a complex music machine. A large holographic screen comes up in front of her and displays a ticking countdown over an electric hum. Empty music notation lines and a treble clef appear on the screen. She quickly finds the violin's bow and takes possession of it, knowing she will be forced to play. Sight read or die, she thinks to herself. The countdown comes to its last few ticks. Torm positions herself to play. 3, 2, 1. The room erupts into an animation of machine parts and lights as she sight reads notes drawn fast on the screen in front of her. The music is a style close to Baroque, with a fast tempo and clear rhythm. She saws away at the strings while her fingers perfectly dance on their correct positions. The music is challenging, but not unplayable, and she manages with relative ease until the notes stop drawing. When the music stops, Torm rests her arms, but her anxiety is woken when she sees a new countdown start. How many rounds are there to this audition? She thinks to herself. The sound of the machine's arms form an almost deliberate rhythm as the room transforms. A set of floating holographic MIDI controllers appear at her sides, which she quickly studies between the ticks of the countdown. A single-line staff is added below the conventional 5-line treble staff. Growing more nervous, the clef of the new notation is unfamiliar to her. She rehearses her movements to the hovering controllers and then takes a ready stance on the penultimate tick of the countdown. 2, 1. The music machine explodes into a mechanical rave as powerful dubstep fills the room. Reading from 2 clefs, the conventional notes give her no problem, but the complex note heads and figures of the dubstep notation proves more difficult. She cuts and stabs the air with her bow, and complex holographic shapes form from the traces of her strokes. She holds the violin with her chin while rotating the holographic MIDI controllers with both hands. She misses a few notes on the controllers and is punished with painful force-fueled blasts from the screen. But with only a few mistakes and with remarkable instinct, she mastered the dubstep notation and holographic MIDI controllers in only a few errors' time. And soon she passes this section of the test. The screen retracts and the room remakes itself, but the complexity of the transformation takes longer than the previous 2, and Torm is given a few moments of rest. The air around the room becomes polluted with the snapping lights as the machine programs itself. By intention or mistake, Torm is shown the holographic dossiers of the countless musicians the palace has trapped and coded into the machine. She stands in awe and terror at the variety and number of musicians who have been stolen. Everything from primitive people with simple clay flutes to electromechanical humans with complex sound generators. But she is pulled out of expectation by the rise of several holographic screens. 2 beams of light scan her body, and Torm forms a trio with 2 holographic projections of herself. The machine arms set in, and the final countdown ticks. 3, 2, 1. The music comes at her as a hybrid of dubstep, classical, and modern orchestral, with its tempo fluctuating between 120 and 240 beats per minute. Torm and her flickering clones eat the music as fast as it comes, forming a trio of measure masters who dominate the counterpoint of assassination-heavy wobbles, diminutive toothed rhythms, low-born glissandi killed by high-frequency ostinati, arpeggiated quadruple stops that burn the bow over a series of unforgiving chord progressions, steel-combed tremolos cut hard into a sea of endless rhythmic permutations, and countless diatonic and chromatic runs over mean modulations whose patterns have no predictable shift. Soon the clone's parts run out, and Torm is left playing solo against the overpowering opus. But intoxicated by accuracy and completely precision-drunk, Torm keeps the murder-hungry machine at bay with perfect accountability for every note. Relentlessly, the machine tries trying its best to eat out the substance of her musicianship, but Torm holds to the test, and the machine is forced to abdicate. The notes stop drawing. The sound cuts off, and its arms pass over her safely as the machine folds itself up. This wasn't just a test or a trap. It was the most complex key to a room she will ever use. Torm is lifted up through an opening in the ceiling where she finds herself in the heart of the palace, the throne room. To learn more, read Dreamer in the Falls, available on Amazon.